Okay, as per Rio's suggestion, I've dropped the quality a bit to hopefully that'll deal with the lag issue that some of you have been experiencing. Okay, so let us continue. Again, uh, doing a bit of cleanup, adding faces where they should go, and if you select a UV and go to your vertex snap, you can snap the vertices to another UV. But be sure to turn that off because there's occasionally a problem if you have a bunch of vertices selected. They will all snap to one point if you move them over another vertex. Another trick is select one edge, hit the F, and it will find the next face. So let's say I want to take all of these off. And we're going to do these one at a time because, well, it's a pain. This is going to be a lot of me being quiet, doing a lot of little niggly fiddling with verts, so watch and observe. Feel free to ask questions, but this is going to be just a lot of tedious little moving small shit around. This is why I love UV mapping so much. Okay, that's what I thought. That's good. So UV, turn on vertex snap. Weld. Go grab that last piece. Well, here, I'll show you what the problem is. Let's say I have vertex snap on. I can move this around, but as soon as I cross a vert, the entire face collapses to one point. And you don't want to do that. So turn it off when you move it into position, and then turn it back on when you want to snap individual verts into position. Okay, all the nasty tails are gone. Let's see what this piece is. That's what that is. That is the back of the bomb thingy. It's a hinge piece for the bomb, the bomb trapeze. Good point. Now, is the image still clear enough to see me work even though I turn the settings down? Okay, thank you. As much as I hate the task, you got to do it right and make sure all your UVs are clean and organized. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make an executive decision on this one. I'm going to move the step out of the way. And I am going to move this into position. And I'm going to kill some of the seams here. Not anything I can do with the back. This is going to be opened up like a Mercator projection. Oops. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch at the straight area. And then I'm going to go ahead and allow for the distortion here. By splitting the difference. Using the stitch edges as opposed to move and stitch tool. Each of these has its uses. I can turn up the music, but do you want me to? It might make the explanations a little harder to hear. Thank you, sir. Okay, and other than the scoops, which I will take care of shortly, that's pretty much the fuselage. So, I'll probably end up breaking out the canopy just to lay that out flat. Now let's continue with the fuselage. We'll do the same thing we did with the top oil cooler with the bottom radiator here. Let's grab all the overlapping faces. That looks like all of them. And go to Create UVs, Automatic Mapping. We're going to treat this a little differently because the layout is so strange. Well, now we know what we're dealing with. You can also move and hold down the V key and that'll snap to vertices. Now I want to preserve the smile of the scoop, so I'm going to allow the distortion to happen on the bottom part right here, because you're more likely to see it from there to there, and it's just going to be a solid RLM blue 65. So then once those are set, and just grab the edges and stitch. Interesting. Okay. A lot of times automatic mapping will just give you a random collection of faces, so you have to select edges to figure out where everything is. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to grab this edge and go ahead and do a move and stitch. Move and stitch, the larger the number of vertices or UV vertices and the larger the real estate, the more chance it'll stay still and the other piece will leave. I move to it. So I'm going to go ahead and move there. It's okay where there's a gap because this is going to be quite different than these pieces, which are going to be RLM blue. And there we have the scoop. And we'll orient it to something logical. And put it in the neighborhood of where it actually belongs, which is there's close enough. And now do the front. Would I recommend using a texture grid like this all the time? If you're starting out, yes, because it makes sure that all your proportions stay correct. I started this without one, and I was just eyeballing it because I was going to paint this in Photoshop, but Rio basically pointed out that not everybody's going to be able to use Photoshop Creative Suite. Okay. The most important part on this one is going to be the grill in the front here. So that is going to be the part I want to keep undistorted. Everything else is going to be blue, solid blue, with maybe a few panel marks right here where there's a cast aluminum piece that goes in and then they just rivet the aluminum skin over it. Fifty-fifty chance the grill moves to the inside of the scoop. Ah, I win. I think because of that wicked curve here, that would cause a lot of distortion if I put the straight piece in. So I'll allow the seam here, and I'll go ahead and stitch the inside of the scoop to there. And then to make it easy to add panel lines, I'll go ahead and drop these. And for the top, there's really no saving it, so oh ho. Hold down the V key and you can just snap to the other UV. Then weld all the edges together. And you're done. Now, let's be extra clever. And stick the bottom of the nose to the inside of the scoop, thereby eliminating a seam. Oh, I was right. And there. So now we will not have any sort of a texture seam on that blue. So that's one side of the fuselage, and I think I am going to separate out the canopy framing. Oh, I believe you are right. The Rockwell engineers were studs who walked like they had 50 pounds of 50-pound balls. After all, they built the P-51, so they can afford to brag. Welcome back, Seb. Oh, I'm fine, Seb. I'm just inhaling fruit punch because it tastes good. Well, hell, I made an error, a mistake. This little piece is solid because it supports the radio antenna. Damn it! Keep hitting the wrong one. Welcome to the stream. If you have any questions, go ahead and sing out. I do check the chat. And if I do this right, it'll look all purty. If I do it wrong, I just have to do it over again. Planar mapping is Z, project, edit UVs, UV texture editor. Okay, I have no idea what that came from. I have a feeling the glass is still somewhere involved with this. Nope. That's very close. I think that's good. Deselect the edges I don't want to separate. And go ahead and use the split edges tool. Select the shell. And move it away so later I can add in the thickness for the canopy. And for this, I'm just going to go ahead and snap the verts. And that still creates a clean layout. And I could lay down a layer of rivets. And let's just go ahead and modify that to do the same thing. So then I can just use a shift or a shift brush to lay down rivets. Okay, I'm going to have to stop the stream briefly so I can record this because this only records in like 40-minute chunks. So, I'll be right back.